To modify the filters of a financial report, you'll open that particular report that you're interested in editing in the Financial Report Writer and go to the Filters tab. Once you're in the Filters tab, you'll get several options. First is going to be the as of date. You can set a specific date here. If you choose to specify a date, that will always be the date that is defaulted for this report. Now, that means that if you use one of the shortcuts that indicates I want to use, say, the beginning of the month or anything like that, that means that the date that you populate when you fill in this field will always be the default date until you change it. If you leave it blank, it will always be today relative to when the report is run. So it's a static date if you set a value here and a relative date if you leave it as today. You can choose whether to prompt the user that's running the report for a date. So if you're specifically looking to set a date or a report that runs for a specific date, you can uncheck that prompt field and it will not prompt the user to enter a new date. Or if you're always wanting to run it relative to today, you can leave this blank and uncheck it. You can also choose to show the time period, which will show the contents of the report based on the columns that are in the report to say what's the time period we're going to be looking at. You can also find filters that are based on dimension. Now, this is the same between dimension-based reports and account-based reports, so you're always going to filter based on dimensions. You can, within here, just the same as with the date, set a specific set of filters and then choose whether or not to prompt. You can include subdimensions, which would allow the users to filter further down than just that first level of dimension if you're set up for that. And then with the department and location filters, you can also choose to run each of those departments and locations as individual reports. And you can choose whether or not to hide any of those dimension values that have not had any activity in the period being reported on. So that will automatically just not generate a report if run as individual reports is checked, or not generate a set of data in, say, columns if there is no activity there. For all of the other dimensions, you can specify or prompt. As a generality, that's going to be pretty much all you can do to filter. And if you're ever not sure what these two mean, they do have the question marks as well as all three of your date fields